Hey, what's up guys? This is Josh from Upright Health, and today we're going to talk about torso angle in the squat. Okay, so we're going to talk about why you might not be able to stay very upright when you're squatting, how we can maybe change this, and if this is even a bad thing. So, first thing I think what needs to be said is that when you squat, you should usually always try to keep as upright a torso as possible, okay? You should probably never be intentionally bending over at the waist when you squat, right? You always want to try to stay upright, okay? So if you can't maintain a very good upright position, there can be a couple things that are going on. Now, number one thing that we're going to talk about is mobility, okay? So if you are having mobility issues at the hips, then this is potentially not going to allow you to stay very upright when you squat. Now let's say if your hip flexors are tight or maybe your hamstrings, this is going to pull you forward as you squat, and in order to get down to this deep squat position, your torso is going to have to compromise, come forward, get here, and then come back up, okay? Another place that we can lack mobility in is this upper back region. If we're very slumped over here and we lack thoracic extension, then when we go to squat, we're going to be here and that back's going to round forward and we're not going to be able to stay very upright, okay? So if that's the case, then you will probably know your squat will not feel very fluid. You'll feel like you're blocked in some areas, and you know, if that is the case, then we need to work on mobility, okay? So we need to be doing our tissue work, we need to be on the foam roller, lacrosse balls, softball, working that tissue, and we need to be doing the stretching that's going to potentially help us to have a better looking squat and be able to stay a little bit more upright, okay? Now, the second reason that we're going to talk about why you may not be able to stay very upright in the squat is simply because of dimensions, okay? Limb lengths. If you have longer legs compared to your torso, then you might just need to get a little bit more torso bend when you squat. That's just the way it is. That's the way that your mechanics work, okay? So do not, so basically do not be afraid of that little bit more bent torso if that's the case, okay? If you do have long legs, and let's say you're doing a box squat here, and your torso has to bend forward a little bit, you're still trying to stay as upright as possible, then that just may be the way that you need to squat, okay? Now, I'm 6'2", 6'3" on a good day, and you know, I do have pretty good hip mobility, and I could stay fairly upright when I squat, but I have friends that are 5'8", that have really short legs, and they stay way more upright than me, okay? And I'm just not built to be able to squat like that, right? I always want to work on my mobility, and I always want to work to be as upright as possible in the squat, but having longer legs, it may just not be in the cards for you. So don't be discouraged by that. Know that, hey, if you get a little bit more torso bend, that's okay, okay? You're still using your hip muscles, you're still, a lot of the same musculature is still working for you while you're squatting, and you're still getting all the benefits of the squat. All right? Hope that helps, guys. I want you to remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't.